Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to share with you the capsule wardrobe that I'm bringing to Japan, and I'm super excited about our trip. I'm super excited about this capsule and the making of this video, and I am filming this approximately 8 weeks before you get to see it, so hopefully not much changes between now and then, but this is my intended capsule wardrobe, which is the things I will set aside for the trip specifically, and I want to film it now when I have the energy and excitement going very high. So I did look at this the other day and I think I have it all figured out. I think I have the pieces figured out, but there are a couple little things that I want to adjust. I have a cat that's staring at me kind of crankily right now. I have a couple things that I want to just properly figure out and make sure I'm happy with that choice. But my intention is to have approximately 15 pieces, and that includes outerwear. And I'm thinking right now, when I have no idea what the weather is going to be like, I'll get a better prognosis before we go. But as of right now, I'm intending to bring 2 outerwear pieces, a coat and a jacket, and we'll get into those a little bit later on. But approximately 15 pieces is my goal, and we're going to be gone for 30 days. We will be able to do laundry, which is really important for this to work. And I want things that are easy to wash and things that I'm comfortable in and that work well together. Those are my criteria, so let's get started. I want to start with bottoms because I'm thinking I'm going to bring 3 bottoms. Let me put them on the rack for you. First, we have this skirt, which was one of my favorite items I thrifted in 2024. I love this skirt a lot. It is a nice midi length. It's very soft, it's very flowy, it's not very thick, which might be a problem if we get very cold temperatures in Japan. And it has these lovely pastel colors in this like plaid checkered kind of pattern and nice pockets on the side, and then buttons all down the front. This, like I just said, might be a little cold, or it will be the perfect transitional piece as we get into April. We're going to be gone from approximately the middle of March to the middle of April, and the weather does get a lot warmer, supposedly, in Japan in mid-April than it does here usually, so this might be really good. I do think this could work, and like I said, if it gets warmer, then great. A skirt, bare legs, perfect. But I'm also thinking, because I'm someone who heavily relies on black tights in the wintertime and the cool months, essentially, and that could be March, that could be April if we're unlucky. It could start as early as September in the fall, and I rely heavily on black tights, but as you're going to see throughout the parade of clothes I'll put here for you, black is going to look very, very harsh against this, and so I'm actually going to be getting some white tights instead, because I think they'll go much, much better with the color scheme. It will be more springtime-y, spring appropriate, springy, and I hope they will be good. I hope they will serve the same kind of purpose in my wardrobe as the black ones, and maybe I will be steering a little bit away from the black ones, not just with this capsule, but we'll see down the line. So this is piece number 1. My second bottom is this pair of dungarees. Not the pair I'm wearing, but this pair. These are my run and fly dungarees. They're very, very pink, and they have lots of axolotls on them and like sea life. I don't know, kelp, mushrooms, I don't know. I love these a lot. They are really comfortable, and they are a nice, loose, relatively baggy fit, which means they're not too tight, not too restrictive. They are a twill, so they're thicker than the skirt is for sure, but I can still put tights underneath if I want more warmth, or I can just wear them as is with some socks and a top on top. I love these a lot, but I don't wear them as often as I want to for whatever reason, and so I think putting them in this capsule means I'll really be milking them for a little bit there and getting a lot of wear out of them. And then my third and final bottoms I'm putting in, more pink. It's my pink linen trousers that I exclusively really wear in the warmer months, and I'm hoping these will be enough on their own. They're not super thick, they are linen, so if it is too cold though, I can layer these as well with tights underneath. These are nice and high-waisted, a little bit cropped, which I keep saying that I wish they were this much longer, but they're very loose, very flowy, very comfortable, and very pink, which is personally a huge hit. So with my bottoms decided, let's move on to tops, and I'm going to be bringing 7 of those, and I have 6 of them decided. So we'll figure out number 7 together. Here in my hands, I have 4 t-shirts. There's absolutely nothing special to them, just very simple t-shirts. I have one that is pink, which goes with all of these. They're quite sharp against the skirt, but like it goes really well with these two. I have a yellow, same thing there. It does go with all of them. This dark blue one is a bit of an outlier because it goes really well with these pants. It works okay with the dungarees, but the darker blue in here is more of a turquoise and not this blue. And then I feel it kind of clashes with the skirt. And then we have a green one. Now this is one green one that I have. It's pretty tight and has little breast pockets, but I did recently thrift another green one, which is essentially the same exact color, but a little bit of a looser fit. However, that's in the wash right now, so this will be a stand-in. Either one of these two will be brought. I'm thinking it will be the one that's not this one, but for the sake of filming this video, imagine that this is the one that's going. And that again goes especially good with these two, and it works with the skirt, but it's a little bit sharp. That is 4 tops. For top number 5 and 6, I have 2 button downs, a pink one and this sort of minty light turquoisey blue one. It's looking like the right color in the camera, in the viewfinder, but the wrong color in the mirror over there, which is very confusing. But it's a bluey, minty kind of color, and it goes well with all 3 of these items. I have worn it with the skirt before. That is essentially the same color as in the skirt. I don't know how well you can see that. I hope you can. And the base color of this is also a light blue, and I've worn it with the trousers. And then the pink one. The pink one also goes with all 3 of these. I have worn it with the skirt, I have worn it with the dungarees, and I have worn it with the linen trousers. Now, if you've been around here for a while, and you just saw me hold up 2 button downs, you might be thinking, there's something about you and your button downs, isn't there? And yes, you're correct. I love, love a white button down, and I do intend to bring one. However, I haven't decided which one. So I'm going to bring out the options I have and just compare and contrast them. If you don't care and you just want to know that I'm bringing a white button down, I'm bringing a white button down. Skip to this timestamp to get to sweaters and cardigans. Here we have my options, and I'm going to be turning these back around now because a white button down will clearly go with all of this. I don't think that's a secret or surprise to anyone. But let's walk through my white button downs and just make this decision sort of together. First, I have this one, which is short sleeved, which is perhaps nice if it's warmer weather, but perhaps not ideal if it's cold. This has pretty big prominent buttons, and it has this pattern on the front, which I don't hate. That's why I have it, but I'm not super sold on this being the one I'm bringing. It's a little bit shorter, I think, than some of the other ones. Maybe I'm making that up, but it is like a square kind of fit. It's not an oversized long kind of fit. It's more square and a little bit boxy, I guess. Not my first choice. This, on the other hand, I feel is a pretty strong contender. This is more of that long, oversized kind of look. It's got long sleeves. It's a really, really soft material, but it wrinkles really easily. However, I wore this and then just hung it back up, and I feel like the wrinkles have actually come out pretty good just from gravity itself and not ironing. Will we be able to iron where we're staying? Yes, we will be. Do I want to spend a lot of time on that on vacation? Not really. This also has this really lovely beadwork around the collar like this, and also on the cuffs, which are very long, but if you fold them over, you get to all the beads. This is really, really pretty. It is really thin. Again, an upside, a positive if it's warm, but not super positive if it's cold. And this is also quite billowy, which multiple of them will be, which might make it difficult to layer under like sweaters and cardigans and stuff. My next option is this one, which is a slightly almost corduroy kind of material. Corduroy, I'm pretty sure it's not a word, but here we are. And it has these like ducks or mallards or just birds on the front, and a little bit of like weeds and stuff up on the collar. I like this. I am working on incorporating this more and more into my wardrobe. I'm not as drawn to this one as I am some of my other white button downs, and that is okay, that's perfectly fine. But this, with it having the ducks on it, I feel isn't really what I'm looking for to go with these, so I'm gonna say no. Next we have what is my absolute definite go-to when it comes to needing a white button down in the warmer months, which is this one, which has slight florals in the fabric. It's a little bit like textured in the fabric, and slightly cropped sleeves, which again might be bulky and problematic under sweaters and stuff. I'm not sure if they're gonna like stay there when I pull the sleeve of something else on. Not entirely sure. This needs a little bit of TLC. It has a couple buttons missing, and that's fine. I have time to put those back probably, but it's also a thicker material, which again could be good, Could be bad. Am I just stalling? Possibly. Next up, we have this white button down. It's my second to last one, so bear with me if you're still here. This has a really lovely pattern along the buttons, not that side, this side. This is really gorgeous, and you button it on the inside here, so it overlaps, and that's just the front of the shirt. It looks really, really nice. It has a slight puff to the sleeves, and like a princess cut in the back here. It has like these seams going in, which makes it look really shapely and really like nice like that. I do really like this one. It's a little bit of a thicker cotton, which means that I do think that wrinkles that this gets will need to be ironed out. They're not just gonna like gravitize themselves away. That is not a word, but it's a nice shirt. And lastly, the last contender is this. I really like this because it has a little bit of a puff sleeve. You can't really tell on the hanger, but a little bit of a puff sleeve. And then it has these little details. It's like netting or lacing going on, and down the sleeve a little bit as well. And it poofs out here, which is like a little bit down on the arm. There's a seam, and then it sort of poofs a little bit right there. This is also really, really nice. Okay, so I've removed the 3 ones that are a no for this particular trip and this capsule, and I'm left with 3. The one I showed you last with a little lacing detail, the summer one that needs a little mending with the buttons, and then this one with the beads on it. And I am torn. I think I'm gonna go with the one with the beads on it. It is so soft, which makes it really, really comfortable. This is a little bit sheer, or a fair bit sheer. You probably can't tell from that distance, but I think that's gonna be okay. I'm gonna decide on this one. I've decided. Yay, a decision is made. All right, so with that, we have 3 bottoms and 7 tops, 4 t-shirts, 3 button downs. And I suppose some of those could also possibly be worn together to create more layering and more options, more variations of outfits, I suppose. But now I wish to move on to cardigans and sweaters and that kind of extra layer. And I have to start with this sweater. I recently got this off of Vinted. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is white and light yellow and this blue and pink and like a turquoisey kind of color, and it has patterns and colors down the sleeves as well, front and back, and then the back is just this lovely light blue. This is so good. Oh my god, I'm so happy I have this. And if we go back to these 3, it will go with the pants, it will go with the dungarees, and it will go with the skirts. That is a fair bit of pattern clashing, but the colors are all sort of in one family, and I think it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited to have this sweater and to wear this sweater, and it will incorporate so well into the capsule. This could of course be worn on top of every single t-shirt that I have in the capsule, and also probably on top of all the button downs. The thing is that this is pretty high necked, and what I like to do when I wear a sweater like this with a button down is to have the collar peeking out, and I don't really think that will work because then the collar will be like at my chin, so I don't think that will work. But wearing a button down just under this and not being able to see the collar also totally works. And I just realized this one, which has the beads on the sleeves, those sleeves can actually come down below these sleeves and be really cool and pretty, probably. So super, super excited to be including this, and it goes with the whole entire color scheme, which is exactly what I want. My next piece you have seen before. It is this gorgeous crochet vest that I got in the summer of 2024. I truly love this vest. I think it's so cool. It is so bright, it's so colorful, it's really comfortable, it's extra warmth, but obviously not for the sleeves. I would really, really like to include this, but I am a little bit on the fence because this does look really, really good with the linen trousers. That works great. Color-wise, I'd say it works with the dungarees, but I'm a little bit hesitant to do a top and then the dungaree straps and then a vest. I don't really know if that's the way to do it. And I feel like it does not really go with the skirt. This is much too bright, and this is in the same color family as these tops, which I said that I could probably make work with the skirt. But this is just a little bit too clashy, and I'm wondering if this is a good idea to bring when I can wear it with everything, but when I only really want to wear it with the linen trousers. But it's such a good vest. and just imagine this in Japan, you know? So I'm gonna hold on to it for now, not fully decided that it's gonna be included, but hopefully. If I include that vest, that does bring us to 13 items, and I said I wanted to keep it around 15, and that potentially includes 2 outerwear layers. I'm pointing over there because I put them over there for now. So for it to be 15 items, and me including that vest, that means I'm out of space because those 2 coats makes 14 and 15. However, I do want to walk through these 3 cardigans and just see if that's a better idea than the vest in particular, or if I want to do 16 items, or perhaps I don't need the winter coat, which I don't know yet. We'll know that, I'll know that when the time approaches and we know what the weather's going to be like. So my first cardigan option is this white number that I got in the fall sometime. It is handmade by someone, not me. It is a stark white. I do like stark whites. It goes with all 3 things because it's white, and it goes really well with the skirt, which has a lot of white in it, whereas the other 2 don't really have any white in it. It's a safe, neutral option, and I think also particularly with the skirt, if I'm wearing white tights with it, so like white tights peeking out at the bottom, and then the skirt, some sort of top, probably one of the shirts since the t-shirts aren't ideal perfect matches, and then this would be really, really cute. So it's a really strong contender. The second option I have is this cardigan. This is also handmade, not by me. I got it secondhand a couple of years ago, and it has short sleeves, which is perhaps not ideal. They're like elbow length, I'd say. It's a nice hot pink, has some patterns on the sleeves in the yarn like that, and buttons down the front, and it's a little bit cropped. It's not super long, and that goes with the pants, it goes with the dungarees, and it's a little bit bright for the skirt. And now that I'm saying this aloud, I'm like, is the skirt the problem and not the vest? Because if I exclude the skirt, everything still goes together. The vest still has a friend, but it's fine, it's fine. This is an option, but I don't think it's going to be the one I pick because of the sleeve length in particular. And I did say we'll be able to wash things in Japan, and that is true. However, I am not an expert on Japanese washing machines, though I have successfully used them in the past. And a lot of my knit items, like all these knit items so far, all my knit items really, I want to dry flat, and that's not really an option we're going to have, I think. There's going to be a tumble dryer, and we can hang things like on hangers or over like the shower railing possibly in our hotel room, but I don't think we'll have the option to dry anything flat, and that's a problem. And so my intention for all of my knit pieces is to hopefully A, not have to wash them a lot, but B, if I have to wash them, to spot clean them. Because if I have to like clean the armpit or clean a stain, I can still hang dry it on a hanger and not risk it losing its shape. And then my third cardigan option, I am actually not excited about at all. So I think the gut feeling is that this isn't the cardigan for me for this thing. It's this nice blue one with, it doesn't button, but it has, like you can kind of overlap it in the front because it has quite big flaps, I suppose. It's long sleeved, but it's pretty tight sleeved. And I think it's going to be really difficult to put this on top of any of the button downs, even though some of them have tighter sleeves than others. I just don't think that's going to work. It works over t-shirts, sure, but it's also not a color that really crops up anywhere in the other items. And the darker blue on here that is more of a turquoise than the t-shirt I showed you, it's not this. This also clashes just like the t-shirt does. So this is not the option. We're setting this aside. And we're setting this one aside because it's short sleeved. So if I then do these, I have 3 shirts and 4 t-shirts. That's 7, 8 with the vests. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is where we're back at. Did I do bad math? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. At some point I got bad at math, but that makes 13, which means that this can be the complete capsule plus then the outerwear pieces. Let me show you those. So my first outerwear piece is the thing I need to bring if it's really cold, either here or there when we go. And that is my winter coat. This is gorgeous. It is wool, it is really heavy, and it's really warm. And I would love to not have to bring this just because it is so heavy. And the capsule of the 13 items, I will also be wearing this on the plane. Not all of it, that's going to be a little bit warm, but I'm not going to have like a separate plane outfit. I will be flying in something of this, and I would obviously then also fly in this because it's so darn heavy, but hopefully I will not need this because it's so heavy. And hopefully it won't be that cold. But we don't know yet. But a jacket I will be bringing, most likely, unless something changes. I have 2 separate ideas in my brain right now. But this is my denim jacket. That is my, like, spring, fall, cool-ish season jacket. It's mostly blue on the front, and then it has dark grey on the back. It's oversized, it's a little bit longer. It's comfortable, and I keep having to remind myself that denim jackets are actually quite warm. I keep forgetting that, and then I'll wear it on a warmer day and just be so confused as to why I'm overheating when this is so thick, because it is a really thick denim. But what I'm thinking now when I'm standing here is that this doesn't look... I mean, it works with all the pieces. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but it's a little bit dark and boring comparatively, isn't it? So I do have this long beige trench coat that I forgot to use last year when I was doing my Wear Everything challenge. I still haven't worn it this year because as of me filming this right now, it's like -7 degrees outside. It's cold. It's wool coat season, to be sure. And I don't know, I don't love that coat, but it is a neutrally boring color. No, but it's a neutral color that would look good with this. It's like a light neutral color. I'm not saying the denim jacket is not neutral, but yeah. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, it's long, you know, it has a lot of those things going for it. But what I'm also thinking is that a white denim jacket would look so good with this. I don't have one. I do have a couple in my like vintage likes and stuff, but I don't own one. So I'm not quite sure about the outerwear situation, but I wanted to talk about it and mention the options of the coats that I have at least. But apart from that, because I'm also thinking, like, I might not always have to wear a jacket if it's warm outside, or at least warm enough to wear a cardigan or a sweater as the outermost layer. And I might take the coat off in like restaurants and some other places, I guess. For just like outfits, I'm really happy with this. Like, this looks really, really good. And to remind you, I'm just gonna toss the vest up here and then the different t-shirts just to give you the colors, really. What do we think? I quite like it, actually. And I feel like it fits the bill of like comfortable clothes, very much so. Most of them working together and being interchangeable, yes. And most of them being fairly easy to wash and not really needing an iron. I do have 3 button downs. They can be ironed. Sometimes they need to be ironed. But if I have them under a sweater or under a cardigan, it's probably fine. I also forgot to say that this cardigan has pretty wide sleeves. They're not super tight like the blue one I showed you. And so I think that on top of anything with sleeves that needs that extra layer, so like the button downs or the t-shirts, will look really well. So counting one last time, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 items, plus at least 1 jacket, which I'm not entirely sure which jacket that will be. But that is the items then. That means that I am under or around 15 items, which I'm really happy with. I am also going to be bringing like hats and scarves and stuff for the cold and just to like protect my neck, because I get a lot of neck aches / migraines if my neck is cold, which is very unpleasant. And I'll possibly throw in like a belt or something. I'm not big on accessorizing, but it could be nice to be able to belt these 3 things. Maybe with like a light purple one that will tie things together even more. I'm not quite sure. Alright, I'm just gonna interject real quick and give you an update. It is only 3 days left now when I'm filming this until we go, which is super exciting. And I wanted to just give you some last minute updates on what's going on with the capsule wardrobe. So I mentioned earlier in this video that I'm looking for some white tights, which I have since gone out and bought. I decided to buy them new, as I do find it difficult to find tights, secondhand tights in general, but also white tights and tights I am pretty sure will fit, you know, based on size charts and all of that. So I have 3 pairs of white tights that are coming with me. I just didn't bring a pair in here right now, but they are just white, smooth, no texture to them kind of tights. And they're 100 denier, so they're quite opaque. They're not very see-through, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want just a sheen of white. I wanted like proper white tights. I think they're gonna be great. And the ones I got are also They call them like temperature tights or climate tights or something, which means that they are allegedly gonna keep you warm when it's cool and cool when it's warm. So I'm gonna be testing that out and see how that goes. And now that it's only a few days left until we go, the temperatures do seem to be a little all over the place. Everything from between like 6 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, just for the foreseeable future. So we'll see how much use I get out of those and see if it's too warm or too cold to wear them, or if they keep me the perfect temperature. Next, I said that a white denim jacket would be a very good addition to this wardrobe. And I actually found one on Vinted. This is an old H&M white denim jacket that I really like the fit of, and it's the same shape as my blue and dark grey one that I showed earlier in this video, but it is white, and it's very white, which like I wanted a very white one, but it's also very white. So I have added a couple pins to make it a little bit more fun, I guess. I mean, I know I wanted a white one and I got a white one, so I got what I wanted. But I added a couple pins, and I also have this Sanrio cinnamon roll little iron-on patch that I'm gonna add on. I have also decided to switch out which white button-down I'm bringing, and I am gonna bring this one instead of the one with the sparkle stones on the collar and the cuffs. This is a long sleeve one. I can unbutton it and roll up the sleeves if need be, and it has a little bit of details on it. And I believe I said in the previous clip about the white button downs that this was going to be a little bit too big perhaps, and maybe not fit well under things, and I'm not sure how well it's going to work. But I have since decided that this is the better option out of the two, partly because this is a bit more fun on its own. There's a bit more happening to it if I'm just wearing it as a white button down, and I think this with the skirt is going to look really good. Also this with the vest I have done, and I know that looks super good. It's also a little bit thicker in the fabric, which I think is a good thing. I've been going a bit back and forth on that, whether or not this will be more in need of an iron than the other one, and preferences and all that, but I've decided on this one now. I've just changed my mind and go with this one. Now I am going to talk to you briefly about shoes and bags I'm bringing, or bag I should say, because it's just the one bag I'm going to wear crossbody on the day-to-day. But before I do that, I want to show you one addition to the capsule that isn't things I talked about, like the tights or the denim jackets. So with the denim jacket, which I'm hoping will be the only jacket I'll bring, temperature-wise it looks fine, so I'm not going to be bringing my big wool winter coat. That means I have 14 items, and while the 15 was a little bit arbitrary and it's just like, oh, around 15 would be nice, meaning that 13 would be fine and 17 would be fine, I didn't intend to add anything, and then I was on Vinted, where I spend a lot of my time, which is where I found the denim jacket, and I got a thing in my feed that I could not turn down, namely this dress. It's a little bit creased right now because it's fresh out of the wash, and when I got it, it was a little bit too small, or a lot too small, I should say, in the sleeves. I could not get them on and keep circulation in my arms. So since I live with some very smart and creative people, they were like, you can probably let it out. Because the thing about this dress, apart from it being super pretty and making me feel like a little fairy princess, is that it's handmade, or like specifically made for a specific person. Either it was made by a tailor, I'm not sure, or someone like at home for themselves. All clothes are handmade, but this was not mass produced is what I'm trying to say. And with that, there were seam allowances in a way that you would never get with today's fast fashion, at least. And so we were able to unpick the sleeves a little bit, and my husband, who is very creative and smart and good, put in these little extra pieces of fabric to make the sleeves bigger. And I think this was a really good fabric choice because the colors go really well with the dress itself, but also with this floral border on the sleeves as is. And then it was also a smidge too tight in the waist, not as bad as the sleeves, far from, but since we were going to rework it a little bit anyway, or he was going to rework it a little bit, we took care of that too. So I unpicked the darts in the back, which I'm very happy they were just darts and nothing more complicated than that. And then we unpicked a little bit in the waist and took out a couple of pleats to make it this. So it's a little bit bigger now and it fits me beautifully. And again, I feel like a little fairy princess, and I'm so happy with this. So this is an addition to the capsule wardrobe. I'm making it 15 items, so it's all well within that range, and even so, it would have been fine. But I'm so happy to have this, and I'm going to be wearing this so much in Japan. I'm going to be wearing everything of this so much in Japan is my hope and my plan and my intention. And I forgot to say earlier that we are going to be in Japan during the sakura season, or the cherry blossoms, meaning a lot of pink. and a lot of pink. Not everything in my capsule is pink, and I'm not bringing a pink capsule wardrobe because it's Sakura season, but the two things just happened to happen at the same time, and I'm not mad about it. I'm so happy about it. This dress, the capsule, the trip, the everything, and I'm just so excited to finally be going. Lastly, to show you the bag and shoes. The bag is going to be my usual everyday bag. It's this one from Desigual, which I've had for like 6.5 years. My husband actually bought it for himself, and then I stole it. It's mine now. It has been for the better part of the last 6.5 years. It's just a crossbody bag. It's large enough to hold my phone and like my sunglasses and necessities like that, but not too big that I feel like I'm gonna knock into people and stuff. And has a little outer pocket, has a little inner pocket, and I'm just really happy with it. It's a good size. It's a little bit brighter than some of the items I'm bringing, but I don't care. I don't have a lot of purses or like day bags, and this is just a good one that I feel really comfortable with, really confident with, just really happy with, and I like it a lot, and it will be coming. As for shoes, I decided a while ago that these sneakers, which is the only pair of sneakers I own that aren't my gym shoes, will be coming along. I got them this past fall when the sneakers I'd worn for the past 6-7 years were completely falling apart. There were holes all over them. I couldn't do it anymore. So I got these and I wore them in the fall season, and now it's been too cold to wear them. But these are going to be what I bring. However, I want 2 pairs of shoes. I think that will be good to be able to alternate and depending on the weather and temperatures and stuff like that. But I'm torn about what my second pair will be. The smart but boring choice would be to bring my winter shoes. These are fluff lined, they have a zipper on the inside, they lace up in the front. They have a little bit of a sole for if it's icy, which it really shouldn't be when we're there. Hopefully, not where we're gonna be anyway. But they are blank and a little boring. Plus, the zipper on this right shoe is coming apart. I can still zip it up and zip it down, but I'm worried that it's on its last leg and I should get that replaced, and I'm not doing that before we go. And there's a black, which doesn't go with the outfits. But they are warm and they keep me dry if the weather is cold and wet. The other option is very far to the other side of the spectrum because that's sandals. These are a pair of Echo sandals that I've had for... I had them when we were in Japan 6.5 years ago, so at least 7 years. I think I got them that summer at least. I haven't worn them now for a little while. Also, the soles are really dirty. Let's not look at that. I haven't worn them now, obviously, because it's been winter, but they are really comfortable is the thing. I know that these are comfortable. I know that I can walk long stretches in these, and I don't mind socks or tights with sandals. So if I have to do that, I don't mind doing that with these. And they have a little bit of color on them, which is always fun, but they would be absolutely horrible if it was cold or rainy. So the shoes are still undecided, but the rest is now finalized. Back to previous Matilda. There we have it. I am really happy with this. I'm going to be giving you videos of how I style these items while in Japan, what worked, what didn't work, if anything. I hope everything will work. And yeah, I'm just really excited for this trip, for this capsule, and for spring. Please, spring. We have snow outside. I don't want snow anymore. I want spring. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear what you think of this capsule, if you think it's gonna work, if you would have done anything differently with the pieces I have available to me, or if you were to make your own capsule, would you have included more bottoms and less tops, or some other variation thereof? Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon, so I hope to see you then. Bye!